Yes, you are.
He appreciates you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Look at him. Just such emotive eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is so cute. But you're going to get a haircut soon, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, you are.
How regularly does he go in?
Maybe like every month and a half, 2 months or so.
Okay.
Yeah. We got to get his nails grinded a little bit as well.
Mm.
And also, we were talking. He does have allergies. Like when the seasons change too. Like he's kind of chewing and kind of like licking a lot.
Oh, pause.
Yeah. And he's got little hot spots as well. And part of that is because like Meg was saying, is because like he hasn't shed, so he just got well, he does shed a little bit, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Because would he be considered a hypoallergenic then? Just considering that he's a poodle.
Yeah.
Are all poodles?
I don't know. I would assume that, like, depending on what they're bred with, people might do like a different breed, but who knows? That's a good point. And hello and welcome to the Average Bros Gym podcast, where your fitness hosts. It has been so long since I've done this. Well, their average hosts with really similar names, Croy and Kory, sit you down and talk about life, fitness, health, and life advice. Seeks to meet where you're at. No polarizing black and white takes, just genuine advice and good conversation.
Talk about bringing that back, though. Man. You finished strong.
Thanks, dude. It's been a hot minute, Kory. We haven't done this for probably about a week or two.
Yeah.
Right? It's been a busy summer. I think part of the episode we're going to talk about is just our summer and what we got going on. It's August 31st as of recording. So it's the last day of summer, kind of, not really, but
I guess, right before Labor Day. That's always the delineation mark, I suppose.
All those children are going back to school on Tuesday. Good luck to all the teens that listen to this show. I guess the teachers. Yeah, more teachers.
I was going to say more teachers.
Probably more the teachers that listen. Good luck to all of you guys. I know a lot of you at OTF at Orange Theory that are going back to school. So good luck to y'all. Maybe this will be an episode you can listen to on your car ride to work, perhaps, to the office,
to school.
But yeah, so happy fall, kind of.
Oh, I can't wait.
God, I'm such a big fall person.
Yeah. Even though I see that they released pumpkin spice lattes prior to it actually being fall.
Halloween is getting the Christmas treatment. It's just getting promoted earlier and earlier and earlier.
It really is. I'm not mad about it.
No. I'm a little bit like, I celebrate Halloween from basically like October 1st to 31st. Like I give September its due.
Yes.
We've got apples, apple stuff in September.
Yes.
Apple orchards.
That's a good one.
Apple cider donuts. We've got back to school, kind of.
Yep.
Although you and I are in our 30s and don't have children, so it means far less to us. Although you do work with athletes, high school athletes, so there you go. But yeah, okay, you know what? Let's just celebrate Halloween all year. Let's celebrate fall. I'm a fall basic B. You know what I mean? I think a lot of Midwesterners are.
Well, now that you have the leaves already starting to change and fall down on the pass, I think we've already had, even though this weekend, not in particular, because it is pretty toasty out, and we did just go through like a little heat wave, but we've already had at least one morning where I remember waking up and it was like, ooh, you just felt that little change in the air that kind of runs over your skin. You're like, okay, yep.
Even this morning, it's like 80 something right now, but it was like 60 degrees this morning. It's a nice, crisp, clean air. I've got my Viking shirt on.
Yes.
One of many. You're not vomiting, are you, Murph?
No. I think you just had a squeak.
Okay. All right.
But the old school Vikings logo too, which I appreciate.
Yes, I'm a fan of the old stuff, the old throwback stuff. I don't know why. It just kind of speaks to me. But it's probably my desire to be different in some way.
Well, that, and I would also say like you're a big history buff.
That's true. That's true.
Not just in terms of like the sport of football itself, but just also in general.
Yeah.
History.
I do love it. I mean, that's why we have our whole folk fitness and folklore series.
Oh, go check that one out.
We'll do. Yeah, it was we have one vault edition. That's episode 21, I believe. We'll do more of those.
Oh yeah.
But football season's upon us. We've got the first week of college football going on right now. NFL starts next week
already.
Kory and I are not too optimistic about the Vikings' chances this year for a title, but you know what? We've been wrong before. Doesn't hurt to be optimistic, nor does it hurt to just enjoy a Sunday with your friends, watching the game, making some food for the week, something like that, hanging out. But
that is definitely the thing I believe we all look forward to the most, or at least I do for sure. It's just getting together with everybody else, watching a good game, enjoying a fall afternoon. That's truly what matters most in my mind. And then it's also just a bonus when your team is actually in the hunt, because it just makes the entire environment that much more energized, when you're like, oh man, we might actually have a shot. And for anybody that follows along with Minnesota Vikings football and our history,
why
it's not been great. It's not been great.
But it follows along. Why? Tell us. Tell us why.
The graphic I saw the other day, it was since the merger, when it was originally like two different. I mean, this is probably something you could even speak of even more.
The AFL NFL merger was like 1960 something.
Yeah,
something like that,
somewhere in there. So it was when the merger first happened and it became the NFL, and then we had the NFC and AFC. Since that time, we are, I want to say it was in the top 5 or 6 highest winning percentages in terms of our team's success over that reign. Every other team around us, both in front and then behind, for all the way to like spot 15, have multiple championships, and we got nothing.
Well, as some of you in the audience may know, and football will only be part of this conversation, but as some of you in the audience may know, I believe the Buffalo Bills and Minnesota Vikings are the only 2 NFL teams to be in 4 different Super Bowls, or to be in 4 Super Bowls and have not won a title.
Yep.
So there we go.
All of those Super Bowls being very heartbreaking too. Buffalo, I would even say more so. 4 years in a row, and you come close.
That was Buffalo 4 years in a row?
4 years in a row that they made it to the Super Bowl. And so there, every now and again, when I'm like, it sucks to be a Minnesota fan. It could be worse.
You think of being a Buffalo fan. Well, they've got the wings. So there you go.
True. I mean, what does Minnesota have? Apparently at the fair, you have a deep fried ranch dipped in more ranch.
Okay, so here's the deal. Have you been to the fair?
Nope.
No.
Not my thing.
You're not going to go to the fair?
Nope.
Okay, so every year Minnesota State Fair is like the greatest state fair in the world. I mean, there's only 50 states, but you know what I mean? It's the greatest state fair in the history of the United States of America.
Is that factual, or is that just your take?
No, I think it's like factual. Well, I mean, I don't know how you factoid that, but
maybe just in terms of overall number of participants. Maybe I don't know how they track it.
Revenue generated.
Yeah, maybe. But you always hear that for sure.
Yeah, Texas and Minnesota apparently are the 2 biggest state fairs, as far as maybe just overall volume of people, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
So it's a big deal here in Minnesota. You're not a big fan. Tell us why.
Well, I believe I've only been to the Minnesota State Fair once.
Well, how do you even know?
Hold on. And that was when I was a kid, probably somewhere in middle school. And I don't know. I didn't really enjoy anything about it. It is massively overpopulated. The number of people that you are just running around. Typically, it's also during a time of year where you are just outside baking.
It's pretty hot.
It gets hot. And you have that many just sweaty people. It's also just, I don't know, the food side of things. It's not something that I'm excited about to go try.
Sure.
Deep fried ranch dipped in more red like that. I'm just like, nah, it's not really my cup of tea. I know they have a bunch of different other stuff, but
sure.
I'm like, oh, so you just walk around all day and just get different food items? That's what it seems to me. And then you have maybe a couple carnival type rides, like a Ferris wheel, or maybe I don't know. Then there's horse shit around. So apparently there's animals involved in this as well.
There are animals.
You have some concerts, which I would maybe be more inclined to go watch those. But yeah, it never really seems like a thing that really engages me.
Okay, let me clarify some things that you stated. So first off, your experience is very valid. I want you to know that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different people that go to the fair. I mean, there are more rides than you'd think. There's a Kidway, which is essentially a big block of kid friendly things. There's also the Midway, which is kind of where all the games are and stuff like that. So it is actually quite large in that capacity. And there are animals. There's a whole section the southwest corner of the fairgrounds that is all kind of the barn animals, that people show off, prize winning, sheep, horses, all the kind of other stuff, right? People like that a lot. There's the Miracle Birthing Center where things happen.
What?
Birthing happens.
Really?
For animals, not like humans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They get volunteers. So they got that. And then they've got, what else do they have? So they have that, and then they've got a lot of other stuff. But yeah, a lot of people go for the food. And I will say this, you are right in the overcrowding thing. So I don't think they've expanded it too much as far as area, but there's more and more people going every single year, right? As it becomes more, shareable online. People see this more, want to attend more, right? It's not just word of mouth anymore. It's not just advertising. People see this more, I think. People might travel to go to it now. And then also, like, in terms of, I don't know if you have the financial ability to do it. Now, I will say, Meg and I went just the one time. We went one time last year too. I do like going kind of solo every now and then. And I will get there early and I will take my time. I'll get there like close to opening, like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. ish. Hang out for most of the day, like or a little bit of like the morning, early afternoon, maybe. If you're going on a weekday, much better. It's still populated, but like less crowded. We went on a Saturday and it was pretty nuts. It was also a really nice day. That also helps.
Yes.
Or hurts, right? The food options have become a lot more varied, I think. Like you have a lot more things besides like deep fry, but ultimately, I mean, you've got like you've got cheese curds. That was the first thing I thought of.
Well, the corn. You have also pickled pizza, from what I've heard.
You've
what's the big corn dog?
Oh, Prana Pup.
Thank you. Martha's cookies. Like these are just some of the ones that I've heard over the course of this time. They're always pretty
different
popular.
Kinds of beers. You've got you've got like Caribbean stuff. You've got International Bazaar that has like the Hmong Kitchen. You've got Afro Deli. You've got the Indigenous Food Labs that was there this year. So like there's a lot of different variations as well, and like they've done a good job of broadening that approach in the last 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever. But yeah, I mean, ultimately you're going to go for the favorites. I had like a chicken sandwich. And I was just kind of like, I was hungry and it was like a random stall and it was so fucking bad. I was like, I was like, God damn it. You kind of got burned a little bit on that one. But I mean, I think the steak can really fun. The DNR fish pond, big win for me. However, again, it was so busy. We just, it was hot. We couldn't really see. They have a dog show, with a diving, jumping.
Okay. See, that I would be down for. That would be cool.
Was good. There's this like, man, what was it? Forget what the breed of the dog, but the thing jumped like 25 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy hops. And then there's like a lumberjack show, the same place. It's like the Northwoods, whatever thing. Yep. That's a cool area. I like that a lot.
That also sounds pretty cool.
And they've got some good beer over there too. So again, they're in the grandstand, of course, where you said do the concerts. They've got that going on. That's open like in the daytime as well for like shops and things like that.
And then I heard there was a member at our gym that had a neighbor who was competing in the breakdancing.
I didn't hear about that.
There was like a talent show apparently that was going on too. And I was like, that also sounds like something I would be down for, but just not like I want to go around on a really hot day and eat food and be by farm animals. I'm like,
that's like 80% of what people do. But like, a lot of people go there for other reasons, right? And maybe not even have that much food. So, but yeah, that being said, my tolerance for that kind of stuff is higher than I think maybe a lot of people's is. So I get it.
Well, what about the wait times as well in line?
Yeah, that's the problem because
I heard you're waiting quite a while, even if you do get there early and you get to one of the popular food items like we've stated, and then you're in there for 30 plus minutes.
I think that's kind of one of the issues with the overpop. Well, one, the record attendance keeps going up. I mean, a friend of the show, Christopher, was saying today that he thought it was another attendance record the other day, right? There's like 3 or 4 already
on individual days.
Yeah. So it's like, this is the most we've had on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think that's how they do it, but they could be wrong.
Okay.
But then, he said
cross-referencing that with previous years on those given days. Okay. Yeah. That would make sense.
They were going to try some food, but the line was actually 3 blocks long.
Holy shit. See, no, I don't want to sit in that.
That's fair, and I think that's part of the issue is like, well, you have maybe one stall that's selling this one item. Corey just ran like 20 million miles, so his legs are really sore.
My hamstring just cramped. Really bad.
So I hate when that happens. So like, there's maybe one store or one shop front or food truck, whatever, that's selling this item, right? And you have it shared all over social media. You have it shown off in these like best of new foods, whatever, which is great, like for them. But then you get in this issue where it's like, if you have record attendance plus only one person selling this, and you know what I mean, like no one else is doing these things, and it's spotlighted. And there's lines fucking 3 blocks long. So I mean, that's why Prana Pups have like 14 different stands across the state fair.
Well, and it's like, for me, it'd be not only waiting in the line that long just to get a particular food item, but then it's also a food item that I'm not necessarily like, okay, I like crumble cookie or something. I'm willing to go in on that. I don't have to wait for that either. It's like a quick in and out for the most part. But to then wait at a fair, which then are also gonna generally speaking, jack up the price of all their different items, and rightfully so. It's like, they're fair, do whatever they want. But when you're paying like $7-8 for a bottle of water, it's like, I can't even imagine what a Pronto Pup costs, let alone going to Sweet Martha's Cookies. And then if you go to somewhere else, it's like, that's a hefty amount of money that you're probably spending on a given day.
I think Pronto Pup was like $9. The bottle of water was like $3. But yes, you pay.
Okay, maybe I was a little over exaggeration.
Yeah, but I mean, you get two of those things, and it's $18, almost 20. Yeah. I get it. Well, and it's crazy too. We were driving. So like last year, Meg and I went on like a Tuesday night because it was just whatever. Like, it was the only time we could go, and it was actually relatively calm. And like line was still kind of long for these Amish shows. It was the first time of year these like Peaches donuts were there, and the Peaches donuts are so fucking good.
Wait, where was this at?
State Fair.
Oh, okay.
It's called Peaches is the brand.
Gotcha.
And the line is still long, but it was like, it was a relatively calm night. We were able. Oh my gosh, I can't speak English. We were actually able to park at the State Fair lot. So the thing is like we kind of were going there this year on a Saturday, and I was kind of like on the way, I was like, yeah, I guess we probably won't be able to park in the lot. And sure enough, I mean, everything was full. It was crazy. And so we're trying to park like, because people will advertise like their lawns to park in, basically. Like,
they bank off.
Oh my God, yeah,
bank.
Dude, it was crazy. We were driving, so like for reference, if you park in a State Fair lot, it's like $20, right? Which is still a lot of parking, but it's like a normal quote unquote
rate,
right? Which is fucking sad, but anyways, quote unquote normal rate. And we were driving along these neighborhoods, and these people were advertising like parking $50. And they depending on the size of their space, they can fill like 4, 5, 6 cars there. And I'm like, damn, dude, if you had like even just let's say you had 6 in the morning, 6 in the evening, like 12 cars a day, all $50 a pop, and you do that for 11 days out of let's say you had the ability to do it for 11 days because the State Fair runs for 11 days. That is nuts.
I'm assuming,
and that's like a small estimate, I think.
Yeah. Well, and I'm assuming too that those people will probably take off like work or something like that just for that time because of the amount of money that they'll make.
Doesn't go outside.
The amount of money that they'll make just in that given time frame, I mean, probably surpasses that of what they probably make just at their regular day job. I thought I was seeing people where they're potentially paying off like massive different parts of their finances just due to that 11 days, like you said.
Dude, let's do the math so much money. Really quick. Let's say like, okay, Meg just got home. Sorry, it was like a brief weird time. I'll try to edit that out. Anyways, let's say you charge $50 a pop. Let's say people are actually paying this, and you've got 12 people that park there for the day. Okay, so for one day, that's $600. You do that for 11 days. That's almost $7,000.
Dang.
Again, that's
probably even low. I mean, because if you got multiple people that, I mean, you're coming in for 2-3 hours, maybe. Like you're as that homeowner, you're probably hoping that the people are in and out in 2 to 3, let alone the person that's going to stay there all day. Because then you're like, fuck.
Well,
I wonder if they upcharge on that. Every hour past the initial 4.
They can't. I'm sure. I would.
You wonder? I wonder.
Well, no, because how are you gonna like if someone's paying you in cash, like
that's fair
because they're gonna pay it up front. But like. So we ended up driving about a half mile away from the grounds, which wasn't too bad. It wasn't a bad walk or anything like that. Again, it was a really nice day. We ended up paying $30 for parking at this like school. Which wasn't too bad. So, but again, like think about that. That's crazy to think about. But like, I would say the people probably spend anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours there on average.
Yeah.
Like I would say that it's probably not much shorter than that because like at that point, what's the point of it?
I feel look at it when we went to Valley Fair, like that I didn't mind staying in lines for, because then at the end of that, like that experience to me going on something like Steel Venom or Wild Thing or whatever, you're just like, that was rad, even though it only lasted for probably what's the longest duration of ride that we were on? Maybe like a minute, 90 seconds or something. Like it goes
that long, honestly.
Yeah, like they go quick, but just for that experience alone, like that to me is worth it as opposed to, getting a Pronto Pup, even though I'm sure they're probably pretty good.
Pronto Pups are good. The issue is when you get something that's not that great and you're like, God damn, I waited in line for that long. I will say we had Loon Juice, Loon Juice, which was very good. That was like a iced tea, or no, excuse me. Loon Lake iced tea. Loon Lake iced tea. We had that, which was really good.
Okay.
They had like a cotton candy one that Meg had that was like they put like glitter in it, so it like swirls and looks really pretty and cute.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Huh.
So that's the state fair. So if you have never gone before, you might be listening from a different country or state or whatever. I mean, if you can make it next year, August 22nd through Labor Day or August 23rd or something like that through Labor Day.
Yeah. Every year.
I think it's the same year. It might be a little bit different, but I think it's the same. Yeah.
I even saw that the other day when we had that massive storm roll through, that parts of the fair were even flooded or getting flooded that night.
Yeah, I think they had to delay opening for a while.
Yeah, people were doing like belly flops into the water, like we had that much water hammer us. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm jumping into that water. Again, as we mentioned before, there's farm animals and stuff around, so there's just like piles of, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, the animals are usually like over by that kind of like the southwestern side of that place. But yeah, anyways, so that's the fair. So not Corey's cup of tea. He will not be going. Tomorrow is the last day. Labor Day. I will also not be going. I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I'll go solo, but no, because it's tough to like, it is a financial commitment more than anything else. It's like, you tickets are, probably $20 like that, pay $20 for parking minimum. If you go,
you're already at like 40, you're already at 40 plus right there.
Well, and there's lots of parking rides. Like when I used to when I was at the University of Minnesota and I lived on campus, there's like a park and ride right over there. There's actually several of them. So it was really easy for me to walk and then take the bus. So it wasn't too bad. But if you're parking there, you have $20, $20 for a ticket. You get in, you're like, you want something to drink or eat. And like, that's $10 right there. It just stacks and stacks and stacks. So and
then the rides, I'm assuming, aren't also just a part of it.
Yeah,
you got to get tickets or something like that, or I'm assuming so, right?
Yeah, they're usually not too bad, but like even they have like a chair. It kind of looks like a ski lift. You can sit in and like go like across the fair and like see everything from up top, which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
But even that's like $6-7 a ticket. Okay. So we did that. That's the first time I actually did was this year with Meg. So that was fun.
So it's just like a ski lift, and you just go. It's just a straight out.
Yeah,
and then you just land on like the opposite side of the fair. Is that where you get off?
Okay. Yeah, it's like it takes you up high, obviously, like over the stuff, and then it kind of brings you all the way across, and you drop down. It was interesting. It goes over a building's roof, and it goes over many roofs, but like this one is like kind of it's like a bigger roof, and it was kind of close to it, and people were just like dropping shit like on the roof, which was crazy to me. Well, like on purpose. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So like people, and there's like a ton of like underwear. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why are you bringing a pair of underwear to drop on the roof with you?
Really?
In your hand or something?
That was on the roof.
It was on the roof.
Underwear.
Yeah.
Why?
Amongst other things. That's what I'm saying.
That's fucking weird.
Like, why do you do that?
I mean, hey, everyone's got their own little kinks or whatever kind of turns them on. I'm guessing that's,
It's definitely like,
you're not just doing it for funsies. That's like somebody up there like, ooh.
I think it is a funsies thing. I think it's like what's like the most embarrassing or like the silliest thing I can just like put on this roof that people are going to see later. And like, like knowing that people, like, why do people draw dicks on stuff?
I don't know.
Someone's going to see this later. Like that's why they do it.
Did you ever do that as a kid in high school? No.
I mean, not on like any. No, probably
that
no.
You never get.
No, it's also like I don't know. Like I don't want to draw shit on like my binder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like what if you like?
Let alone a dick.
Right. I'm saying, especially not. I mean, I made like really random doodles. Like I would just kind of put my pen down and just kind of start like moving it around and doing random shit.
Oh yeah, everybody doodled.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I didn't do anything like that because it's also like, what if you like to turn that paper in? Because you never knew what you're going to turn it into. Like you could have been taking notes and like, okay, let's take your notes now. And it's like, well,
yeah,
shit.
Do you think teachers even minded that there was doodles on it? Like if everything else was kind of completed, I think that's kind of a cool sign. Like, oh, you're also artistic.
Well, it probably depends on who it is.
True.
Because also too, if you're doodling, you might not be paying attention. So it's like, well,
yeah.
But that depends.
Or the assumption would be that you're probably not paying attention. Let alone you could have been just doing that homework assignment at home though, and got carried away. But yeah, let's be honest, you were definitely doing it in class.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Well, so moving on, summertime. Do you any like? Okay, well, let's take a look at this then. This is kind of be a summer wrap up show.
Yo, summer's almost over. Fall. But fucking fall, baby.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, God, we're basic.
Yep.
What's one of your takeaways from summertime? What's something that stood out to you? What's something you'll remember? What's something that you enjoyed? What's something that you're going to take with you? Something you started doing maybe?
You know what? This is going to be biased because I just got done, as we kind of mentioned before, when I had my little hamstring cramp there. Mm-hmm. But this would definitely be the summer that I remember training for this ultra.
Sure.
And granted, I've done so many awesome, incredible things. We had different trips and dates that I remember. And, I just had one of my best buddies. He just had his first kid that I'm going to be able to meet tomorrow. Like, there's so many different things, work, everything going great.
Yeah.
But when I look back at this summer, knowing that in October here in 7 weeks, we're going to have the 50K Ultra and a couple of the training runs that I remember doing with Michaela, or the training runs that I did with Garrett, or whoever else is a part of that group. That's what's really going to, I think, stick with me over the course of this time. Like, we just wrapped up Caleb, my buddy Ryan, and Garrett. We met over at Lake Harriet Band Show. They stuck with us. All four of us went around all the lakes, did a 10-mile loop, and then Garrett and I went back out and then did another 10. So it was our first time breaking over the 20-mile mark, which I've only ever ran the marathon at Twin Cities and then one other training run leading up to the marathon at the 20-mile mark. So this is like, I essentially today tied my second longest distance ever training. And that was just really cool. And then to be able to share that experience with other people over the course of this summer, that, again, multitude of runs that I've done with Michaela and everybody else, like, that's really what's going to stick with me for sure.
Mm-hmm. You must have just missed me and Meg. We went and did we just went around the aisles once.
Wait, earlier today?
Yeah.
What?
No way. I think it was like 11, probably. So probably like 11:30ish, noonish.
Oh, okay. Yep. When we were at that point, we were just at Harriet.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, we were out there today.
So many people are out today too. It's an absolute beautiful day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's cool, man. That's awesome that you're like, how do you stay like mentally engaged with that? Like, how do you actually like commit and like stick with it?
That's
doing all these long distance runs.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've just been doing that type of training, or I've had that mentality for so long now. It just kind of seems like second nature a little bit. Doesn't mean that it doesn't get hard. Like, there was multiple times over the course of that last 10 miles that I did with Garrett that I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks, and I don't want to, like, these runs are done right now. I could be done. My car's right fucking there. Like, I don't have to go around this lake one more time. The runs during the week, even if it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever miles that you're running that day, there's been plenty of those runs too, where I'm just like, running sucks. I hate this. I never want to do it again. But then you find yourself, when it's time to get your training session in, I just go through the same pattern that I always do. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my socks here first. I'm going to get my shoes. I'm going to have my peanut butter and my bread and my banana. And just like, you just start going through those little processes that always lead you up to finally achieving what you initially sent out to. And then it just becomes habit. It becomes routine, just like everything else. Again, doesn't mean that it doesn't get hard. I just know the feeling also when I don't do something that I set out to do, and I know in the back of my mind that I could have achieved it. That stings way more than going out to do what I needed to do, be prepared as the best that I possibly could be. And then, I get injured or I get sick, and that's the reason that I don't achieve it. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of the mentality, I guess.
Well, and it's like you have to practice that mentality, kind of like you mentioned, like, oh, I've been doing this consistently for so long that it is, at this point, it's much less like it's ingrained in you, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So no, it's interesting, man. I like that a lot. I'm gonna see if I can do one thing on my microphone, because it feels like it's really.
And it's cool to see like that can be cultivated in any person at any time if they just like set out to achieve what they want to. Like Crystal, I just saw the other day, member from Orange Theory that you and I both know, but I saw she just went and hit, what was it, like 1,000 classes or something, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I just remember when she used to be, a little bit larger, lost a bunch of weight, and now she's arguably in the healthiest space that she's been in, her life, or at least in quite some time. And I remember her back when it was like just initially starting out, and now to fast forward multiple years, and like she just went and hit 1,000 classes, like showing to yourself and proving to yourself every day that you can be that consistent. It's like such a huge win.
It was kind of cool to see her like bored of stuff that she had, and the photo was with me and you, like we were in there as well.
That was awesome.
That was fun. So that was cool to see like her progression in that. And like, yeah, like you said, it's this kind of like consistency over a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so with people out there like listening, it's, it's not just like, practice doesn't just make perfect at like a skill of like, piano or like, running or the physical attribute is also mental as well. You're going to perfect what you practice, and for practice that mentality of staying committed, staying consistent, and saying, well, it doesn't matter if this happened today, I'm going to be doing this, like, or I set myself out to do that. Then again, like Corey mentioned, it's going to be it's just second nature.
Well, and I remember hearing that line too. Like, you were always kind of taught, or at least I was, and you probably as well, where you always heard practice makes perfect. And what I like is hearing that no, practice doesn't necessarily make perfect. Practice makes progress. And that's that, mentality and that mindset. Like, I'm going to continue to show up for myself each and every day, whether that's from the activity level that I wanted to do, or if I was going to set out to like have this many ounces of water, or whatever your goal that you set for yourself was. I'm going to walk at least 20 minutes a day at noon. Like, you set even a time and day, you're trying to habit stack, things that we've talked about, ad nauseum on this podcast, but that people, once they start to ingrain those habits and those behaviors into their daily life, they fast forward just like Crystal did, and they're looking at what they've achieved. Like, holy shit, I just did 1,000 Orange Theory fitness classes, and I'm down however many, like 40, 50 pounds of weight. Garrett and I were just talking about this earlier while we're on our run at like mile 7, and we're like looking over ourselves like, dude, fast forward like 6 hours from now, we're going to be sitting down. You're going to have had some food. You're going to have taken a shower. And then you're going to feel like your feet being a little sore. And you're going to feel your hamstrings be tight. And you're going to feel your quads achy and your back a little bit stiff as well. You're going to be like, I just ran 20 miles today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how fucking awesome is that? But that didn't start like, I didn't just decide, oh, tomorrow I'm going to go run a fucking marathon. It's like, well, no, you first start off by like, I'm going to do 5,000 steps every Sunday. You always hear that, like, I was never a runner. And then they just started one day with 1 mile here and then 1 mile there. And then they started to jog, and then they went a little faster. And then, ta-da, there you go. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progress.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
No, I saw that. I saw like a post today about, a woman who was, had committed to doing like a mile every day for 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, kept going and going and going. And then like before you know it, she's like, okay, well, setting up for a marathon, what I mean? Like, and this is obviously a long, long time. It's not like that happened like, oh, she ran a mile for 30 days. And then all of a sudden, like, she signed up for a marathon like the next month, nothing like that. But you look at like from a macro perspective of like, okay, well, months and years and things like that. And all of a sudden where you are, you know what I mean?
So, mm-hmm.
I think what stands out to me about the summer, I would say I might have been doing this summer. I don't know. The storm's been crazy. That's been one thing that's been absolutely wild. I would say for me, like, I don't know. We did a lot of fun things. Meg and I, visited, went back to Green Bay for the wedding. We had a wedding yesterday. A good friend of mine's wedding. He shout Alec and Cecilia. It was a wedding over at Astor Cafe, and
that's a cool venue.
It's beautiful.
How was that for a wedding?
It was awesome. And, I've known Alec since I was 10 years old. Like, incredible human being, and his wife Cecilia, also an incredible human being. Like, two people that, if you look at them, or if you like you know them, like you couldn't imagine them saying like terrible things about someone. What I mean? They're just two genuine human beings. And to be in that space yesterday and to see the community and the love supporting them was really, really cool. You know what I mean? Like, people just cheering over it was great. It was just really, really cool. The venue is awesome. It was a really kind of really pretty area in like the back patio kind of. We had like where they had the ceremony, and then like the cocktail hour was great. It was awesome. So yeah, that stands out to me. Obviously happened yesterday, but I don't know. You think
beautiful night for it too.
Yeah, it was perfect weather. You couldn't really have asked for anything better, honestly. So that was amazing. Other than that, man, it's just been like, Meg had her half marathon, so just kind of supporting her through that, like trying to run her like short runs with her. I think like the longest run I did with her was like 4 miles.
Nice.
And that was like a, relatively mid short run for her at the time because she was training. And so like just kind of seeing her do that was really cool. Being able to support her doing that was awesome.
Well, it's fun to do those activities together.
Yeah.
Too. Makes that time pass by a little bit quicker too.
Absolutely. Well, and you see, I think people like, one person training for a marathon, and even if you can't support your partner in that way, like let's say your partner is training for a half or training for a full or training for whatever, and like let's say for whatever reason, like that, you're not at that level, right? Like it's like if your partner's on 7 mile runs and like there's no way you can do a 7 mile run or like whatever, like, we've seen people like bike with their partners that goddamn hamstring again.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Just keep your legs fully extended.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Yep. Need some sodium?
Yep. Wow. Oh, continue.
Okay. Corey's dealing with it with some cramping right now.
Yes, very much.
But like, how many times have I seen people like ride a bike with their partner?
Yeah.
As they're like doing doing some sort of training, run or training, et cetera, things like that, right? Supporting them in that way.
Or just being even at like the little pit stops and stuff like along the way can be just like so much. Not only are you going to be able to be there to help provide hydration or fuel or whatever, just even like words of encouragement. Like I think it's awesome when you see something like the Twin Cities Marathon and how many people show out with like different signs and friends and family that are all along the route like that. There's nothing more uplifting when you're participating in an event like that and then you see some of your family and friends out there supporting you. Oh, it's just the energy boost that you need. Like right when you think you can't take another step and then you see and look up and you see your family and friends there. Oh, it's such a just a spirit refiller, you know.
Well, and the support, the support for the community that you don't even like, they don't even know you. You know what I mean? But just the support of like, hey, yeah, well, like, you're doing great. Oh my gosh, love you. Stuff like that.
Oh, that was the best. That's what's going to be a big game changer up in Duluth too. Is like we won't have that. Like versus Twin Cities.
Yeah, fucking more extreme. You don't get affirmation.
No, you don't. You're just out there
rocks in your shins. Yeah,
you do, but like, and it's just in a different way. I think like there's going to be multiple times along the route that I anticipate, even though like my body's feeling good and I could keep up at like a faster pace, I'll intentionally just want to like stop, walk, and soak in just the scenery that's going to be up there along the trail, and just to be able to be in that moment and very present with those who are around me, because that's going to be one of those just lifelong experiences that you're always able to reflect back on once it's done, and the memories that you make along the way. That's going to matter more than just like the result of the finish at the tail end of it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So let's not, I think I hear Murph outside. Murph, do you want to come inside?
He's like, come on, it's way more fun with dudes.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
Murphy.
Dogs are literally the best. I was tearing up the other day because I was just like, oh, I saw this adorable video, something pertaining to a dog. And at this point, anytime I see a cute video with a dog, I immediately just think of Stevie. And then I'm just a big
100%.
puddle of butter. I'm like, oh, I just want to go back and give her all the hugs. And yeah, dogs are literally the best.
Oh, they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can't let's take the trail run out of this picture.
Yep.
Because I feel like that's pretty notable as like a destination for us. What's something you're excited about for the upcoming fall season?
Well, as we kind of previously discussed, not Minnesota Vikings football.
What? Come on, man. We're going to go all the way this year, buddy.
The one thing that is very soon approaching is my brother's wedding.
Oh, and yeah.
That's going to be another, as we've been talking about, big moment in my life and obviously my brother's life and Zoe, the entire family. He's the first of, obviously between he and myself being the only other brother that I got, he beat me to it. So he's the first one to get hitched. So, I mean, just to be there, see what my parents, are going to be like. I got to start prepping for a best man speech, which is also going to be fun. I'm actually very much looking forward to that. I enjoy public speaking and kind of writing a good best man speech.
As opposed to a shitty one. Yeah, I'm glad you're not going to write a shitty one. Yeah,
that's the goal. And I know nobody goes in thinking that like, okay, I'm just going to write a shitty speech. But I feel like you can definitely tell like the people that prepped it, the people that practiced it, the people that went back over what it was that they were going to say. They didn't just come up with it on the fly necessarily. There are some people that do probably, and they're really comfortable and confident being on the mic, and they just have good timing and whatever else. But there's sometimes when you're up there like, dude, you could have cut this like 5 minutes ago. And like, where are we going to this? Like, where's the story leading? So, yeah, that's coming up here September 14th.
And, wow. Okay. That's faster than we realized.
Very soon. So brother's wedding, moving in with Michaela, that's going to be a, big thing as well. So excited about that. Just being able to come home to her at night and start in the morning. It's been just an awesome experience there. So those two things are on the immediate docket, along with obviously the ultra. So
of course, coming in October.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, it's just fall season. I can't wait. Like you get Halloween parties, and then you get Thanksgiving. Christmas is right around the corner. I just feel this is the time of year when the weather is stuff where, I mean, you really see Minnesota at its peak. You get all the changing of the colors and the leaves, the trees. Everyone's in a little bit of a better mood. You get the brisk, fresh air. Your entire wardrobe's at your disposal, you know.
Finally, dear God, I've got so many long pants I want to wear.
Those leather boots you want to bust out, or like a sick-looking flannel, or you can start layering it up.
Ooh,
yeah, I know you're a man of layers.
Little vest action.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's there is something to it. When you dress up a little bit, like I feel like most people, if you had to take your spring wardrobe, your summer wardrobe, winter, and fall. If you had to choose between those seasons and what your
best wardrobe,
everybody's choosing fall.
Fall's best.
Everyone's
wardrobe.
choosing. Well, maybe not everybody, but I feel like that is definitely going to get the most votes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the most variety.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you're going to have fall days that you can wear shorts.
Yep. You want to wear a little beanie one day? Cool. Yeah. Is it sweatshirt and like pants weather? You want to go something maybe a little more cozy, like sweater, flannel jacket, or something.
But like, let's say it's a warm day, you got jeans on, rocking that t-shirt. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can do that too.
Yeah, it's like I want to keep my legs. I want to feel like, some nice Levi jeans, hugging the thighs.
Sure.
And then, rock a t-shirt, rock sandals if you want to.
Now you're speaking crazy talk.
I know.
So we're excited for that. I'm excited for, the overall atmosphere of fall is my favorite. The crunching of the leaves, the cool breeze, the colors of fall, of course, just like I love it overall dynamic. I'm a big Halloween guy, have been for a while. Can't wait to watch all the kind of I'm not a big horror movie guy in kind of like the normal sense. I do kind of like a little bit more like thematic movies. I don't know, I'll watch Sleepy Hollow, stuff like that, kind of the Hocus Pocus.
I'd want to watch Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. The stuff that's kind of not really scary, but it's kind of just Halloween themed, spooky, stuff.
So not like a Friday the 13th or
slasher movies don't really do it for me.
Same. They don't.
They're not compelling. I like a thrillers more so.
Like Gone Girl.
Oh yeah, Gone Girl is fun.
I feel like that's
a Halloween movie, but it's a good one.
But that type of, I'd much rather watch a thriller than something like a slasher,
or there's more nuance to the character.
Yeah,
because I am a what is the word for it? Anyways, snob. There we go. Snob. But so definitely in general, just the whole atmosphere of it. Love that. Love football, even though the Vikings and Gophers are not going to have, depends on how you define success.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people will define success by winning a title. So if the Gophers don't win a national championship, which they will not.
Nope.
It's just not that type of program, right? Or the Vikings don't win a Super Bowl, which again, pretty unlikely.
Nope.
Not saying it's impossible, but
I am.
It depends. Okay, well, there you go. So it depends on kind of what you define. But I just enjoy watching it still. Having that be a gathering on Sundays, a gathering place. Meg and I are going to Chicago in early October for a podcast thing, so that's gonna be fun. Just exploring it. It's only a couple of days, but just excited for that kind of stuff.
Yep. Is that the book reading?
He's Mr. Ballin. He's a storyteller, kind of of weird stories and things like that.
Yeah, but you get to see it live.
Yeah, he's just telling a story. It's kind of like a presentation. If you and I were doing a live show, it'd just be us talking to and interacting with the audience, probably, right?
Yep. But he's telling a story.
Yes.
Okay, and that story
stories probably.
I mean, it's not like he's necessarily reading Of Mice and Men up there, right? Or is it
he's doing his normal routine, but just in front of people, right?
Okay, interesting. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
see. It'd be a unique experience.
I've gone to a podcast live, and it was a lore with Aaron Mankey, and I've seen him live, and kind of the similar storytelling thing, but it's still talking to the audience. It's still you're in front of people, right? But you're telling a story essentially.
Okay,
or multiple stories.
Yep.
Yeah, excited for that. Yeah, I'm a big fall guy, and we haven't done this show in fall time. We actually started the show, I believe, in late December, maybe post Christmas or somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
So it'll be coming up here in several months. We mark 1 year of this podcast. Yeah,
that's crazy. Time flies.
Yeah, so it'll be fun, man. It'll be a good time.
Nice.
Excited for fall.
So. As we all should be.
Right, Murph?
As we all should be. Dogs especially, so then it's not as hot and they can run into big old leaf piles.
Yeah, Murph, you want to go run into leaf piles?
Yeah, he would get some caught on his fur though.
Yeah,
curly hair.
He does. It's the saddest thing in the world when you see him get a burr on his paw. He freaks out. He's like,
does he?
Freak out, but he's like, he can't walk normally with this damn thing on his paw. So he tries to get at it. And I'm like, okay, you got to give me a second, buddy. I got to get down there and help you out.
Yeah, it's like you're wanting to help, but you still just don't have that level of communication necessarily with a dog. You get the communication aspect in a lot of, in a lot of ways with the animal, but they're like, when you're trying to help them, like they have maybe something in their tooth or, you're like, oh, wait, I'm trying to get this out of your mouth, but quit like chomping down, or I'm trying to look at your paw here, but quit pulling it away. Like I'm trying to help, but they don't understand that.
Yeah, he doesn't speak English yet.
Not yet.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
It's still all Portuguese. Not sure where he picked that one up. Brazilian Portuguese, not Portugal Portuguese.
Just wait. Soon there's going to be some technology invented where you will be able to hear your dog talk.
Obrigado, obrigado.
I think people will immediately turn that feature off, though.
I'm trying to say obrigado, which means thank you in Portuguese, but I'm saying it like an Italian accent, so I don't think it's getting through.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah, I think you might have gotten it.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, team, that's a good little like summer recap, fall preview episode for us here at the Average Bros Gym podcast. Thanks for listening, as always. You can give us a follow on YouTube and Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts. I think you can follow people on Apple Podcasts. That really helps. So yeah, make sure you follow us. Make sure you like our videos, subscribe, all the fun things. Basically, all those metrics improve our reach, and that's a way to get the channel growing, as well as, you know someone who might want to listen to us chat shit for 50 minutes. Send us their way so they can take a look. They can take a look at our official Minnesota Vikings preview. Outlook not so good.
Yeah. We'll eventually do maybe we'll do like a Vikings preseason, expectations, or like NFL breakdown bracket. We'll have to do a all-time top tier Halloween movie list.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We should probably do that. October episode. Yeah.
Eventually we'll do like a Christmas one too. So yeah, we got a lot of fun pod episodes coming on. Also, yeah, we got a couple different people in mind for guest episodes here very soon as well. So
yeah, if you haven't listened to our episode with Maggie Kothi from last time, make sure you go do that, episode 30.
Yes.
Really, really awesome points from her. Really, really interesting conversation.
I want to have her back. That was a fun conversation.
We love Maggie. But yeah, so thanks everybody for listening.
You sound like a minion. I asked that at my SPA crew the other day. I was like, my question of the day was, what was the last movie that you saw in theaters? Everybody said either Despicable Me 4 or Inside Out 2. And then you just did your best impersonation of a minion right there. That was, that was beautiful.
I can't speak English. Je peux pas parler anglais. That means I can't speak English and French.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you go.
With an Italian accent.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno, miei amici. So that's going to do it for us at Orange Theater. Nope, damn it. That's going to do it for us, the Average Bros Gym podcast. Again, go like, subscribe, follow, all the fun things, and we will see you again next time with more fun fall focus. 3 Fs, triple F.
The alliteration.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I get it from diners, drive-ins, and dives. Triple D.
Ooh.
Guy Fieri was here actually very recently.
Was he?
Yeah, he's releasing some alcohol. No, I think he was at some sort of brewery somewhere, or some sort of like alcohol place. Anyways, adios, friends. We'll see you very soon. Take care.